Hey there. It's that time of year again, when everyone's buzzing about New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
But let's ditch those flimsy resolutions and dive into something more substantial.
Okay.
A real roadmap for the year ahead.
I like that.
Think of it as designing a blueprint for a more fulfilling life, one you're genuinely excited to wake up to.
I couldn't agree more. It's about making intentional choices that align with what truly matters to you
Yeah.
instead of getting swept away. By the whirlwind of the new year, we can create a clear path and set ourselves up for success.
Okay, so before we jump into mapping out this incredible year ahead, where do we even begin? It can feel a bit overwhelming, right?
You're absolutely right. It's easy to feel lost in the possibilities. That's why the first step is to take a pause and reflect on the past year. Think of it as turning on your internal GPS and getting a clear sense of your current location before plotting the best route forward.
It's not just about looking back at what we accomplished, or let's be honest, maybe didn't accomplish.
Right.
It's about digging deeper, right?
Exactly. It's about understanding the patterns and themes that have shaped your year.
Okay.
What were your biggest wins and what made them so rewarding? Were there any challenges that kept popping up? And what can you learn from them? This isn't about dwelling on the past. It's about extracting those valuable nuggets of wisdom that can guide us towards a more intentional future.
I love that. It's like turning those experiences
Yeah.
into signposts for our journey ahead.
Okay, so we've taken this insightful trip down memory lane. What's next on our roadmap to a phenomenal year?
Now that we've reflected and gained clarity on where we stand, it's time to identify our core areas of focus.
Okay.
These are the key aspects of our lives that we want to pour our energy and intention into. Think of it as choosing the destinations we want to explore on this journey called life.
So instead of creating an endless to-do list
Yeah.
that spans every corner of our lives, we're choosing the destinations that really excite us.
Precisely. It's about prioritizing what truly matters and saying no to distractions that might lead us astray.
Instead of spreading ourselves thin across 10 different areas, let's focus on 3 to 5 core areas that we're truly passionate about. Maybe it's health and well-being, nurturing relationships, exploring creativity, or diving deeper into professional growth. Whatever lights you up inside, that's where the magic lies.
Okay, I'm already feeling more focused. So we've got our compass pointing towards these incredible destinations. Now, how do we transform those aspirations into concrete actions?
That's where goal setting comes in, but not just any goals. We're talking about SMART goals.
Okay.
It's an acronym. That stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. By crafting goals that fit these criteria, we turn those vague wishes into a powerful plan we can actually execute.
SMART goals, I've definitely heard of them. But sometimes it feels like a concept that gets tossed around without really digging into the why behind it. So why are SMART goals so crucial?
Because they provide a framework for turning those fuzzy dreams into tangible realities. Let's say you want to prioritize your health this year. Instead of simply stating, I want to be healthier, a SMART goal would be something like, I will run a 5K in 6 months, training 3 times a week.
Ah, I see what you mean. It suddenly becomes so much clearer and actionable. Instead of this ambiguous idea floating around in my head, I now have a specific target, a way to measure my progress, and a timeline to hold myself accountable.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of SMART goals. They remove the guesswork and provide a clear path forward. Plus, by breaking down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps, we create a sense of momentum and make the journey feel less overwhelming.
Okay, so let's break this down even further. If running a 5K in 6 months is the goal, how do we create those smaller steps to make it feel less daunting?
Think of it like planning a road trip.
Okay.
You wouldn't just hop in the car and start driving aimlessly, would you?
No.
You'd map out the route, identify pit stops along the way, and estimate how long each leg of the journey will take.
I see the analogy. So instead of staring at this 5K finish line months away, we're breaking down the training into weekly milestones, maybe even daily actions. Suddenly, it's not about conquering this massive challenge. It's about focusing on what I can do today to move closer to my goal.
Exactly, and that's where the magic of consistency comes in. By taking those small, consistent steps, we build momentum and create lasting change.
This is starting to feel way more manageable. But what about when life throws those inevitable curveballs our way? How do we stay on track when things don't go according to plan?
That's where flexibility and adaptability come in. We need to embrace the reality that life is full of unexpected detours.
Right.
It's not about giving up at the first sign of a roadblock. It's about adjusting our route while keeping our destination in sight.
So it's like having a backup plan or maybe even a few alternative routes, to explore if the original path
Okay.
becomes impassable.
Precisely. Imagine you set a goal to read a certain number of books this year, but work gets incredibly busy, or a family emergency arises. It's okay to adjust the timeline. Maybe opt for shorter books, or even acknowledge that you might not hit your original target this time around. The key is to avoid getting discouraged and to keep moving forward in a way that feels sustainable and aligned with your current reality.
That's a great reminder. Life happens, and sometimes we need to adjust our plans accordingly. But even with the best intentions and flexible plans, it's still easy to lose motivation along the way. How do we stay on track when those inevitable moments of doubt creep in?
That's where accountability plays a crucial role.
Mm.
Having someone or something to help you stay focused and motivated can make all the difference. Think of it as having a co-pilot on this journey, someone who's cheering you on and helping you navigate those challenging stretches.
So it's like having a workout buddy, a book club to discuss our reading goals with, or maybe even a mentor who can offer guidance and support.
Exactly. It could be a friend, a family member, a coach, or even an online community of like-minded individuals. Sharing your goals and progress with others provides that extra layer of support and encouragement, especially when we're feeling tempted to hit the snooze button on our dreams.
I love that. It's like having a personal cheering squad to remind us why we started this journey in the first place. It's about celebrating the wins together and offering support during those inevitable moments of doubt.
You got it. And speaking of celebrating wins, that brings us to another crucial aspect of staying motivated throughout the year. It's not just about reaching the final destination. It's about acknowledging and celebrating those smaller milestones along the way.
Yes, it's so easy to get caught up in the hustle
Yeah.
and forget to appreciate how far we've come. But those small wins add up and contribute to a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment.
Absolutely. It's like laying bricks to build a house. Each brick might seem insignificant on its own, but together they create something substantial and beautiful.
What a great analogy. So as we wrap up this part of our conversation, what are some key takeaways we can implement right away to make this year truly exceptional?
First and foremost, reflection is key. Take the time to look back at the past year, identify patterns, celebrate wins, and glean those valuable lessons from any setbacks. This sets the stage for intentional goal setting that's aligned with what truly matters to you.
Right, it's all about understanding where we've been to chart the most fulfilling course forward. Then it's time to identify our core areas of focus, those 3 to 5 key aspects of our lives where we want to direct our energy and passion.
And remember, it's quality over quantity. It's far more effective to focus on a few key areas and make significant progress than to spread ourselves too thin and end up feeling overwhelmed. Once we've got those focus areas locked in, it's time to set those powerful SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Each element is crucial for transforming a vague aspiration into a concrete plan.
And don't forget the importance of breaking down those goals into smaller, actionable steps, like mapping out our route on a road trip. This makes the journey feel less daunting and allows us to celebrate those mini victories along the way.
Absolutely. And remember, life is unpredictable. Be prepared to track your progress and adjust your plans as needed. It's okay to change course or timelines if circumstances require it.
Flexibility is key to staying motivated and avoiding frustration. And to boost our chances of success even further, let's build in accountability. Find a support system, whether it's a friend, a mentor, a coach, or a community group to cheer us on and help us stay on track.
It's amazing how much more achievable things feel when we have someone in our corner, offering support and celebrating those wins with us, big or small.
And speaking of celebrations, let's not forget to acknowledge those victories, both big and small. Acknowledging our accomplishments, no matter how small, reinforces positive habits and keeps us energized to keep moving forward.
It all adds up to creating a more joyful and fulfilling experience. New Year planning isn't about striving for perfection. It's about making intentional choices, setting realistic goals, and celebrating our progress along the way.
I love how you frame that. It's a journey, not a race. And speaking of journeys, let's circle back to that roadmap analogy you mentioned earlier. It's such a great way
Absolutely.
to visualize this whole process.
It's a powerful tool to help us stay focused and motivated throughout the year. Remember those core areas of focus we talked about?
Yeah.
Those become the key destinations on our roadmap. And those SMART goals we crafted, they're the specific routes we'll take to reach those destinations.
Okay, so we've got a roadmap laid out, our destinations marked, and our routes planned. But what happens when we hit a detour? You know those unexpected roadblocks that life throws our way? How do we handle those without getting completely derailed?
That's where flexibility comes in. Remember, this roadmap isn't set in stone. It's more like a GPS system that can recalculate our route when needed.
So if we encounter a road closure, we don't just abandon the entire trip, we find a detour. Maybe even discover a hidden gem along the way that we wouldn't have found otherwise.
Exactly. The key is to stay adaptable and to remember that setbacks are a natural part of any journey. They don't mean we failed. They just mean we need to adjust our course and keep moving forward.
I love that perspective. Takes the pressure off and reminds us that it's okay to deviate from the original plan, as long as we keep our destination in sight. But let's be real, even with the best roadmap and a flexible mindset, there will be times when we feel like giving up, those moments when motivation dips and self-doubt creeps in. How do we navigate those challenging stretches?
You're right. Those moments are inevitable. That's why it's so crucial to have a support system in place, those cheerleaders who remind us why we embarked on this journey in the first place.
Okay, so it's like having a crew on board. They help us navigate through rough waters. They offer encouragement, celebrate our victories, and help us stay accountable to ourselves and our goals.
Precisely. And speaking of celebrations, remember those small wins we talked about earlier?
Yes.
Acknowledging and celebrating? Those milestones is like adding fuel to our motivation tank. It reminds us that we're capable of making progress, which gives us the energy to keep moving forward.
It's like giving ourselves a high five. For every mile marker we pass, no matter how small, it keeps the journey fun and reminds us that we're making progress. But how do we actually build in those celebrations? It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind and forget to pause and acknowledge our accomplishments.
You're absolutely right. It's about creating rituals and practices that help us savor those wins, no matter how big or small. Maybe it's jotting down our accomplishments in a gratitude journal, treating ourselves to something special, or simply taking a few moments to reflect on how far we've come.
I love that. It's about creating those moments of pause and appreciation amidst the business of life. It reminds us that the journey itself is something to celebrate.
Exactly. Not just the destination. Remember, we're not robots. Programmed to achieve goals, we're humans with emotions. And those emotions play a huge role in our success. By celebrating our wins and acknowledging our efforts, we create a positive feedback loop that keeps us engaged and motivated.
This is all starting to make so much sense. We're reflecting, setting intentions, creating a roadmap, building in flexibility, enlisting support, and celebrating every step of the way. But how do we bring all of this together into a cohesive plan that we can actually stick to?
That's where the power of visualization comes in. Imagine yourself at the end of the year, having accomplished those goals you set for yourself. How does it feel? What do you see? What are you celebrating? By vividly imagining this future version of ourselves, we create a powerful magnetic pull that helps us stay focused and motivated throughout the year.
I love that. It's like creating a mental movie trailer for the incredible year we're about to experience. And by repeatedly watching this trailer in our minds, we're programming ourselves for success.
Precisely. We're tapping into the power of our subconscious minds to help us achieve those goals. And remember, this isn't about creating a rigid, inflexible plan. It's about creating a vision that inspires us and a framework that supports us on our journey.
This has been so incredibly insightful. I feel like I'm walking away with a toolkit filled with strategies and mindset shifts that can truly make a difference.
I'm thrilled to hear that. Remember, you have the power to create an exceptional year. It all starts with a vision, a plan, and the unwavering belief in yourself.
So as we wrap up this part of our conversation, what are some key takeaways our listeners can implement right away to start building that incredible year ahead?
First, carve out some time for reflection. Look back at the past year. Identify those patterns. Celebrate your wins. And glean those valuable lessons from any setbacks. Then choose those core areas of focus that truly light you up. Remember, quality over quantity.
Right. It's about choosing those destinations that make our hearts sing. Then it's time to set those powerful, smart goals, breaking them down into manageable steps and building in that all-important flexibility.
And don't forget to enlist a support system. Those amazing cheerleaders who will keep you motivated and accountable. Surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and who are willing to celebrate those wins with you, big or small.
What an incredible reminder. It's about embracing this journey with enthusiasm, flexibility, and a whole lot of support. Now, as we move into the final part of our conversation, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on something that often gets overlooked in the New Year planning frenzy. The power of gratitude.
Ah, yes. Gratitude is such a transformative force. It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have, appreciating the abundance that already exists in our lives. And when we approach this new year with a grateful heart, it shifts our entire perspective. We're no longer chasing after some elusive future state of happiness. We're finding joy in the present moment, appreciating the journey itself.
I love that. It's about recognizing that happiness isn't a destination, it's a state of being that we can cultivate right now, regardless of our circumstances.
Exactly. And when we cultivate gratitude, it's like planting seeds of positivity that blossom throughout the year. It makes us more resilient in the face of challenges, more appreciative of our successes, and more connected to the people and experiences that truly matters.
Okay, so gratitude is like this secret ingredient that enhances the entire journey. It's about savoring the flavor of each moment rather than just gulping down the experience. But how do we actually weave gratitude into our daily lives, especially when life gets hectic and those to-do lists start piling up?
It's about creating small but meaningful rituals that help us pause and appreciate the good.
Okay.
Maybe it's starting each day by writing down 3 things you're grateful for, or ending each day by reflecting on the highlights. It could be expressing appreciation to someone who made your day brighter, or simply taking a few moments to soak in the beauty of nature.
I love those ideas.
Yeah.
It's about infusing those little moments of gratitude throughout our day, like sprinkling confetti on the ordinary, to make it sparkle.
You got it. It's about making gratitude a habit, a way of life that permeates everything we do. And when we approach this new year with that grateful lens, it transforms the entire experience. It's no longer about striving and achieving. It's about savoring and appreciating every step of the journey.
This has been such an incredible conversation. I'm walking away feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to embrace this new year with a renewed sense of purpose and joy.
I'm so glad to hear that. Remember, you have the power to create an extraordinary year filled with meaning, connection, and fulfillment. It all starts with that inner shift, that commitment to approaching each day with intention, gratitude, and a whole lot of heart.
And to all our listeners out there, we're sending you those same vibes of inspiration and encouragement as you embark on your own New Year journeys. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress growth and celebrating every step along the way. Now go grab that notebook, pour yourself a cup of something delicious, and start mapping out your most incredible year yet.